hear me. Hello, everybody. Let's see here. Let's see if you guys can actually hear me. Because I don't know if you can. Yeah. I mean, I show audio happening here, but
does it come through your screen?
Yeah, it does. Let's see here. Is it working? Yeah, it's working.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah. I'm just a little far away from the microphone right now. Okay. So let's turn that off so we don't have to echo. All right, hi everybody. Sam here with Thermal Cosplay, and today I am using XTC 3D, which you see right here on the side. And I got help. And before I start using it, I have to make sure that I peel off all of this stuff. I'm gonna switch cameras for a second. I have to peel off all the stuff that didn't work. Right out of there. That, you know, this is how you do trial runs and you see what works and what doesn't work. But all I have to do today is peel all this off real quick, just seal the edges, and then we're gonna do a mix of XTC 3D and see how it works. Experiment with it. So let's switch cameras so that you guys can actually see what I'm working on. That would be wise. Okay. Yeah, I know, right?
There's a hand model.
That's true. There's a hand model.
Look
at my hand model. I have a camera with a hand model. Anyways, hi everybody. I don't know if anyone's joined yet. My camera's getting a little different today, so I can't see comments right away. There we go. We'll eventually get there. This is the cool thing too. Like, this is the one thing I wanted to do, was I wanted to peel off some of this stuff too, and actually use the polemic to secure my D-rings. But basically, this PLA and the adhesive I used for these felts just were kind of sticky, but kind of did work and mostly didn't work. So it's just, sadly, I need to peel all these felts off. Lesson learned. I have a bunch more felts, so I'm not really concerned about it. But yeah, that's what's happening right now. I keep just throwing stuff. I have Papa's Bob out here. It's his birthday. He's helping me out.
No.
Yes.
No birthday.
It is your birthday.
No birthday.
But the birthday is a lie.
No birthday is a lie.
The birthday is a lie.
No birthday is a lie.
Okay. So this kind of sticks, but it doesn't stick very well. So I'm just gonna leave it in that spot because like that's where I want it to be. But I'm actually gonna use polemic to get it to actually stay on. This is what I mean. It should not peel off like this. Like, it's not supposed to come off this piece. So
PLA.
I don't know, but you know what? I still like it. I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's a good print. No, it's an awesome
It's an
print.
amazing print.
Don't get me wrong, that's a beautiful print.
And I can get rid of some of this reinforcer in here too, because I'm going to use the polemic to reinforce it now.
What did you use for D-rings? Is it about the
Transbond reinforcer? It sticks pretty well, but I'm just worried about it feeling like this adhesive rise.
Yeah.
So I'd rather switch.
Well, because I've used it on PLA prints before. I've used it on the PLA Pro and the PLA Plus. And it seems to work really well on those.
It's staying here. Like, I don't know if I'm actually able to peel this off.
Well, you can go over with the XTC.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I should just do that. Maybe I should just go over the D-rings with the XTC. And then I can just sand down any of these edges that are like.
It's just one more layer. Just one more.
This one's the only one that's like a little wobbly. I think it's just because there's so much text right here. But if I go over it with the XTC, it should stay.
Should be all right.
Yeah. Okay. Like, I just needed them to have a little bit of give, but not too much. Yeah, this is.
I think it's like that gummy.
I think we're good. Okay, never mind. All right, so here's the armor, and the inside of the armor is going to get coated with XTC. And I was thinking, do you think it would be good to coat the outside with it too once the inside's done?
You can actually coat the whole thing. What the XTC will do is you get the.
It'll get rid of the ridging. Yeah.
It'll do that. And like right where the seal or the joints are, it'll fill that in.
Okay. Before I do that, I'll make sure I sandwich some of the ceiling.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you know, because it's actually pretty good because I use it pretty extensively. It will actually cover that up.
Oh wow.
But when you put it on, you have to be real careful because the stuff is really thin, so it will fill in all of that.
Yeah.
And
Well, what else I'm doing is filling in and then buying a filler primer.
Yeah.
And spraying with a filler primer to reinforce it more.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the XTC is good to reinforce it.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Well, in order to use XTC, before we actually start using XTC, someone said, Ben. Hi, Ben. Hi.
Oh, thanks, Ben. Yeah.
Rob taught me how to make a little
Man.
tin foil tray. So I have a tin foil tray. I actually don't need the bonding. Probably should.
Yes, I can.
And it's the coolest thing ever. And it works on like wood, metal, glass, plastic.
That's the bonding for 3D prints and stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I use right here.
Bonding pen. Oh,
So you can
nice.
see right there, that here.
Oh, very nice.
And it's somewhat flexible.
I like that.
So,
Right now, I'm just pulling it together.
well,
And
that's really $40 and it comes with 4 or 5 refills.
that's not bad.
Yeah, this is just the little.
Oh, nice.
You need to touch it. So, yeah, no, I love this. It's great. But okay, so before we start actually getting to doing the XTC,
Ben's going more.
there are some things people should know. You need to have a mask. I have 2 because I have a friend in here who I don't want to die from fumes. And then I need to have my little garbage can to be full. So you want to make sure you wear a medical mask. This is the blue side out, right?
Yeah.
I always forget it. Wait, what side is that? I don't know. I've been spoiled and I've been wearing KN type masks.
No,
And it feels like you know what's actually. Okay, so medical mask, like you guys can see the other camera, I'm wearing a medical mask. Additionally, you're going to want to wear clothes that you're not worried about getting stuff on. This was a $20 sweater and that's why I wear it. And I don't know why. Guys, it looks beautiful for 25 seconds.
Aww.
Okay, anyways, now we're gonna put the gloves on. My hands are little, so I buy little tiny gloves.
Yeah, so the kit comes with,
It comes with gloves.
yeah, it comes with a pair of gloves.
But I have tiny hands, so I always bring the ones that I wear. Also, I can always take off my Fitbit just to be safe. Any jewelry?
Yeah, take off all your jewelry, especially if you wear rings and stuff, because it'll tear the gloves up really fast.
And then you're going to want to have a mixing cup that you can pour the 2 sides into, a stir stick, and then you're going to need, this comes with, you guys can see up here too, but it comes with a brush, it comes with part 1 and 2, or A and B as you want to call it, and it comes in a brush, as you can see, like, it leaks a little bit, but not too much. That's why they seal it, so that if there's a little bit of leaking, it's not getting all over your box.
Yeah, so I order this stuff pretty often. Depending on where you order it from, sometimes they have a tendency to leak a little bit.
I'm just kind of probably break it up.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to cut it out of the bag.
That's fine, because I have extra bags. I have like large bags or other sealed bags that you can put it back in the box. I probably won't leak again.
It's on the outside of the bottle.
And it's also probably just upside down, you know, obviously. You have like a little spout like this, you trip it upside down. It's everywhere.
So remember, XTC is a 2-part, like I call it a resin.
Yeah, it's an epoxy resin.
It's an epoxy resin, so just be aware of that. It's when you mix the parts, it comes to hot.
Yeah.
So
you can see that squished.
yeah,
Missing some of its stuff. That's okay. As long as it's not empty. If it was empty, then we did have a fisticuffs with But they probably actually had to like really not fill it completely.
No, they don't. Yeah, you don't freak out because they don't fill to the top.
Yeah, so it's not to the top, as you can see, and the chances are in shipping, if it's pressurized and it's filled to the top, you're probably gonna have these things explode. So
yeah.
you do want it filled to the
Believe me,
top.
these 2 bottles, I've done a complete head to toe set of armor.
In just these 2
In
bottles.
those 2 bottles.
Yeah, so you don't need a lot of this stuff. All right.
It's exceptionally thin. I don't know. I think it's 2
2 to 1. Most of the mixings will tell you if it's 2 to 1 or if it's 1 to 2. So what I should do is just start with the small.
Oh yeah. Don't get happy with this stuff. Even you see the part that's Sam's about to work on, as big as part, it's that. This stuff is really thin.
I feel like what 2 cups of part B and 4 cups of part A.
Yeah, that's about what I started with. So, and you don't need a lot.
Yeah. So
there's
a bubble.
Yeah.
Hello. So this is what we're going to be using to mix in, and then we're actually going to pour it out into this little tray. And the reason you just pour it out before you to pop out is because it will take a little bit longer to cure if you have it spread out like that.
The nature of a 2-part resin, or even a epoxy resin, whatever, is it will cook off fast. So by meaning cook off is you have a very limited window that you can use when you're applying this.
Should I just actually do like 2 cups of this, pour it into there, and then mix it in
the Yeah, you can. It's fine.
Because I have mixed it in.
Yeah. As long as you mix it.
Well,
yeah.
All right,
so right now, with the way the weather is here,
it'll take a little bit longer.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit longer.
I actually have my fan on 5, so if you guys are getting fan noise, I'm sorry. Well, we've got questions.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Is that Rob out here in the background?
Yep, I'm telling it's Chris.
Oh, hey. Yeah, hey, Chris. Yeah, it's me. It's me.
I kidnapped Rob.
Yeah. I didn't have a choice.
He did get breakfast out of it,
yeah. So it might be a little bit too much, but
I don't think it will, because it's going to be 2 to 1, so it's
yeah.
going to be.
Is that the second?
This is the second.
Oh, that's the second. Oh, okay.
And then I have to do the 1 part B.
All right, yeah, that might be a little bit too much, but I think we'll be okay with the way the weather is.
Yeah.
Because you'll see how thin this is when you go to apply.
I'll just buy more and be like,
you'll be all right. I mean, it won't cook off that fast. So once this hits that, the clock starts. And I can't really tell you how.
And here we go.
Because I've done this at 114 degrees, and I've also done this at 40 degrees outside. And I have usually it applied within 5 minutes. Much more than that, and that stuff will flip over. Yeah. And I can't, Chris, what's the thermal reaction called? I can't remember what it's the thermal part is called. Yeah, thermal cosplay, you should know that. When the 2 creates heat. They treated me to breakfast this morning. Yeah, they treated me to breakfast this morning. So yeah, see how thin that is?
Yeah.
And the resins,
I just want to make sure it's like fully mixed.
Oh yeah. You want to mix it thoroughly. So they tell you this is one of the tricks that you'll learn when using ecstasy. They actually
recommend that you
recommend that you make these little plates like that, or little things. It's hard to understand this, probably because of the mask. I'm far enough away, so.
Sorry guys, I'll be louder. I'll project.
Is that it, Chris?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
I mean, I can switch microphones if we have to. But it'll have to be after I've done this because I think this is pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's kind of weird yellowish like this.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Oh yeah. Now I've had one instance where I either got a bad batch that it turned gray, and I went ahead and applied it, and it never cured, and that sucked because I had to take a scraper and basically scrape all that stuff.
I think you can tell me, but I think it's like.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you're good.
Consistency it is really freaking thin.
That's what I'm saying. That hole right there, that whole pile will cover that entire part.
It is super thin. Okay.
So,
guys.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So this is where you really want to be careful with this stuff. It's so thin. You just want to paint it on and paint it on thin. And what it does, what XTC is good for with 3D parts, it will actually fill in like,
I have like a little bit of like pulp left over, but that's okay. I can see it.
yeah. So if you watch what Sam is doing right now,
It's already filling in.
Yeah, it'll fill in, but it'll also start to pool because until it cooks off, it'll run.
And I'm doing super thin layers.
Yeah.
It's not pooling at all.
Okay. Be careful also with XTC because if you have a lot of highly detailed parts, it will fill in the detail.
I think it's amazing. I think like this somewhat the little bit of the leftover stickiness is actually helping it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's probably not a bad thing.
You got people saying hi, I think.
Yeah.
Hi everybody.
Allison.
Allison.
Excellent.
Hi everybody. Hello. If you can't hear me very well, please let me know and I will project more. I have a quiet voice and I'm wearing a mask.
The audio is really robot-y and hard to decipher.
Okay. So let's.
You want me to take over while you're.
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, okay. I don't have gloves on. I don't recommend that, but I have no feeling in my fingers. So I've been doing resin work for a long time.
I'm going to switch audio here.
So just work at it, work at all the grooves and all the area that you want it at.
The device not connected?
Okay.
Okay. My camera. There we go. My cam's back. Mute this mic. Mute this mic. Okay, can you guys hear us? Is that better? Let me know. Because I am using a better microphone now. Okay, I can switch back with you.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so I didn't do this edge. So
yeah, I
you
just
see what I'm talking about by the
yeah,
pulling?
where it's pulling. This is
Yeah,
bad,
so just kind of work at the edges and stuff.
Okay. So the audio should be a lot better now.
This reminds me of the process that Ben and I did with the UV 3D printer resin.
Yeah.
Yes, much better. Yeah, Chris, it's about the same thing. So Chris is referring to a UV resin set or a UV set resin that's available also now, where you essentially the same process, but to cure it, you hit it with a UV light, and it essentially does the same thing.
How fast is this stuff cure?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's probably you could do that entire part with what you have.
Yeah, I could have done like half a cup.
Yeah, it should start cooking off.
Yeah, I think it's going to. It's already starting to like.
Yeah,
it's like this thing's getting like harder.
Yeah, that's a good indicator.
You know, like it's getting stiffer. It's like.
Yeah. So you also know. So that was one of the things about the tinfoil, spreading it out, because if it's in a cook, the reaction will happen a lot faster. So with all that I gooped on, you may not need to get. I would do what I usually normally try and do at this point, is I will do like the connection points, but you've gotten pretty well good with that the bond.
Tape,
yeah, the
cause
tape.
bond.
Cause bond, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get some into like the little areas right over here.
Oh, that's right. It's the SLA resin. The it's the resin that they use in SLA, the resin printers now. So it's kind of an alternate use for that
thing's
resin.
getting all like
Yeah.
sticky.
That's what I'm saying. It starts when it cooks off. At this point, you're very limited on time because once it starts getting
This part's already hard. I'm actually just gonna come back now.
yeah, once you start getting like here, it's yeah, you're committed now.
I am committed, guys.
Yeah, you're into it now.
I'm assuming the audio's better because I haven't.
Yeah, I think Chris. Yeah, the audio sounds better. So if I really want to get like some strong points, what I'll do is now that it's real sticky.
Is this like the sticky point normal?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's cooking off at this point. So you'll have to. Normally, it'll take. This stuff's really fast, and they say you can start painting within like a couple hours. I don't suggest that. I suggest you let it cook overnight. Nice exhaust system. Car just went by. Windows open. Windows open for good ventilation. It has a bit of a smell, not as bad as straight up resins, polyester resins that I'm used to dealing with.
This part's lifted up, I'm just gonna do some other parts.
Yeah. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, you can actually do it. Well, it might be a little difficult to do the whole. You could flip it over.
Okay.
Flip it over. Hey, watch that.
Guys, I curse all the time. Sorry.
She cursed. Sam cursed.
Sam cussed.
I'm gonna tell. Yeah, just do the whole thing.
Yeah, this thing's definitely gonna. You see how floppy and weird it's getting?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be perfect, guys, but I'm trying.
So anybody that's used to using resins or like polyester resins or the normal type resins for doing fiberglass work and.
This is probably normal for you guys.
Yeah, it's normal. Well, this is a little bit different because it's so thin.
Yeah, it's like nail polish if nail polish was a little bit heftier.
So if you look at see the detail, your arm detail right here?
Yeah.
See right here? Be real careful because you can lose that detail really fast.
I'm trying really hard.
No, yeah. So
Thankfully, that's a big ridge. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, it's a good example because you can lose that ridge. Because what it'll do is it'll almost flatten that ridge out. Because she has the part really orientated really well because the way the resin will run it'll run down. Yeah. Now, if you laid that like in another orientation, that you could actually flatten that ridge out. And this
armor is conducive to XTC training.
Yeah, exactly. And like the center part where the jewel goes in.
I'm gonna be very light.
Yeah, you need to be really light on that because it'll fill the jewel part up really fast.
It's ridiculous how smooth it already looks.
Yeah, exactly. Now it gets it'll. I have done so. I print at a really. Well, I like my prints to be a little bit finer, a little bit smoother. Not to say this is a beautiful part. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of jealous. I normally. Oh, is it coming apart? Here, up on the left hand side. Oh yeah.
That's weird.
I wonder why it's coming apart. You can use this as a bonding agent too. So just hold.
I can hold it.
Wow, I wonder what's coming apart. What glue did you use?
I may not have put enough in, because I can see that it's sealed. It may not have just put enough in that particular corner. And I may have been a little too handsy with it. You gotta be gentle with them, even if you think it's completely sealed.
So big armor like this, especially 3D parts, you really want to get your joints really put together. I use CA glue or hobby glue. Gorilla glue, super glues are really good. You just need to make sure. Sam has that Bondic pin, which is like plastic welding.
Yeah, because I can see the weld is fine. I just think I didn't do enough in that little seam right there. That's fine. It's just going to seal it up for me.
I'm probably going to end up getting a Bondic pen just to see. I do a plastic welding with. I'm sorry. With the the old soldering iron method, where I'll just take a piece of PLA and just run the seam with soldering iron to plastic weld them together. But the bonding pen I like because you run it down and you
It's already getting so sticky. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Getting grumpy with me right now.
Oh yeah. So even after this, even after you smooth it out, you may need maybe 2 more coats depending on. Oh, Walden Cluck says hi.
Hi, Walden. I might have to get a new brush here in a second. I don't know if this is gonna last much longer.
Oh, when I do big armors, I burn through brushes like I just go to the evil store, Harbor Freight, and spend way too much money on.
Evil. Yeah, this is already. You can tell it's already setting quite a bit.
I just get the 30-pack or whatever whenever they're on sale. Same thing with the gloves because you'll eat gloves up. Fiberglass work and resin work is definitely fun, but you need to be really, really careful, especially using polyester resins because of the smell. You definitely need a respirator type mask. This stuff is a little bit more forgiving. It still outgasses, but it's not as. It doesn't smell as much, but you still need to be wearing something, especially hand. I know I violated that by just working on it, but I was also not touching it. Because if this, now I would probably.
I think I coated the whole thing.
Yeah, did you
except
get
for
up
the
there?
center.
Okay.
There's some stuff in the center. I want to take a little brush.
Yeah. So a little trick that I learned too with this is that when it starts cooking off and it starts getting harder, you can do detail work. Now I told you not to do it with detail. So what I would do, Sam, is flip it on its, like where it's sitting on all 4, and that will naturally seal. So it's going to be a little, you might have to turn it so you can work on the medallion.
I can see, we're good.
Yeah. So
this is getting stickier, but that means I can come in here and it's not going to pull the same way.
Yeah, the pulling is definitely an issue.
Yeah, this stuff pours super fast.
Yeah, Chris was like, I get them at Walmart or Harbor Freight and get a 20-pack and eat through them. Oh yeah, using any kind of resin works and stuff like that, you'll burn through. And don't try and use acetone. Don't try and use any kind of
acetone. What would you use acetone for?
Well, there's been people that have tried to rescue old brushes with resin and such.
But using acetone?
Yeah, to try and soften them up. Don't. It's not worth the aggravation. I mean, you're going to spend hours. You're going to spend. I don't know. I have never come across anything that actually truly works. I've known a few people that have been able to rescue, but nothing. I just go to Harbor Freight, and for $8 you get like 20 or 30 paintbrushes, and
I just go to Walmart and get kids brushes.
or the kid brushes. Don't go out and get don't.
Don't pay for nice brushes.
Yeah, doing this, don't pay for nice. Yeah. If
somehow I got a little piece of hair in here, I'll sand that off.
Yeah. If you're worried about that, a trick is to take a little bit of super glue at where your bristles all meet the brush. Take a little bit of super glue and go around the brush and let it dry.
Oh no! I got a piece of my dog's hair.
Oh, dog's hair. Oh.
My dog hair somehow wanted to join my armor. Oh. I'm like, she's not even here, and she's still sharing.
You know the T45?
She's making an imprint.
The T45 not only has my blood in it.
It has other people's blood in it.
It has other people's blood. It also has a couple bees in it.
Oh. You were just feeding the project. It was hungry.
Well, I'm out on my front porch doing fiberglass work. I look like something. What is that show? The Breaking Bad.
Oh my god.
Oh, I was out on
like you're making.
Oh yeah, I'm out in my tennies and my shorts, and I got my apron on and my gloves. Go up to my arm with my big old respirator on and my eye gear on, and I'm out on my front porch to where I live doing fiberglass work, mixing up resin and coating my armor. And,
you're like, hey guys.
Oh yeah, that's
why.
What's
going on? Y'all want some of this cosplay? No, I'm not making meth. I'm making cosplay.
I got to know the local PD really well because they thought I was running a meth lab at my house.
It's okay. I think every cosplayer at some point's run into the police. Like I ran into the police because we were doing a photo shoot, and one of our people was ex-military, and he actually brought a legitimate, albeit not working, weapon. It was like an actual machine gun, and I didn't know it was an actual machine gun. And so the police were called because he's walking around
with a
like
weapon,
looking like I think it was Deathstroke or something like that.
Oh no! So here is where
This is helping.
you're gonna want to watch. See right there. Now, if you look, I just pointed out you've already caught it, but if you got grooves, like
yeah,
right here's
I
the
guess I'm
groove,
waiting until it's sticky.
Yeah.
So yeah.
that's where you want to watch because it'll pull
It's
up.
like right up here, like in the bottom under the boob area.
Yeah, what is toss the sponge brushes, and especially since it's like $10 for a huge bat. Yeah, you can get the sponge brushes for. So I don't particularly like the sponge brushes.
I have some. These brushes are really old, and
I don't. And the reason is such is a sponge brush will soak up the resin. So, I don't like to waste because I'm essentially cheap. But if you use a sponge brush, it will start soaking up the resin. So I use regular bristle brushes.
Yeah, I can tell it's like trying
to
settle and pull. And I'm probably gonna have to do a second coat. Just
Yeah,
because
oh,
of the
yeah,
size
yeah,
of the piece.
yeah.
But
The
now I
bigger
know
the piece,
how, yeah. But now I know how little I'm gonna need to mix next time, so I won't mix as much.
So this may take a while.
Well, this is because this is the thing is it's already like this is like to the point where it's like barely it's barely usable. You see what I mean? Where it's like
it's getting molassy.
Yeah, it looks like molasses. That's exactly what it looks like. I mean, it looks like I threw a bunch of hot glue down here.
Yeah, so it's starting to cook off pretty well.
I'm just trying to get like the edge.
Oh, that's fine. So you
So
still.
it's not going to be super even the first coat.
No.
Even this big, I wouldn't think.
So you can float. Kind of a terminology is floating the resin. So what you're doing is you're floating the resin over the part to fill in any kind of like ridges or gaps or so.
I think I just naturally know how to do this. I didn't realize that's what it was.
Well, if you know how to paint and you're a detail painter.
Yeah. You get used to filling in.
Yeah, this is. It's just your medium you're working with is more of a time sensitive medium. Yeah. But that's all it is. And again, I can't tell this enough. This product is exceptionally thin for a resin. So for all those that have worked with resins in the past, this is a lot harder, or not harder, but you have to pay attention to what you're doing. You can't just, like when I was doing my T45, I would mix the resin and just dump it on the part and go, because some of the parts are so big, and polyester resins and those kind of resins are a little bit thicker by nature. So yeah, and then you're putting fiberglass down anyway. So you're doing what I like to do is I would do a resin coat and then start laying my fiberglass sheets and then do a resin coat over that. So to get to cook off the fiberglass sheets.
And this settles really well though.
Yeah. I can already tell it's starting to harden up.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to be able to work with it anymore. If I do, I'm just going to mess it up.
Yeah. So. Yeah, so you gotta, see? Exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No!
That's exactly. Yeah, oh, you're done. Oh, I think I peeled off. Nice.
All right, but I'm going to take off these gloves because they are getting warm because I got stuff on them.
Yeah.
And you don't want to leave it on your hands and have it melt to you. Apparently some got through my gloves somehow.
Where's that scar?
This is actually why I always keep a microfiber cloth.
That scar is a resin scar, polyester resin scar. That's what happened in polyester resin.
Part of one of the parts got on my hand, but it wasn't the full part.
No.
Only
this stuff is not as bad as regular resins.
Keep a microfiber cloth because the ridges in them, and you have something in your hands, it gets it right off.
Yeah. 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 If you get this a heat thing, if you get it,
this is useless now.
Don't put it in the garbage can yet. Let it cook off. Because if you put it in the garbage can, it's going to pour all over. Yeah, put it in the box. That's fine.
This box is now.
The reason why I said that is I ruined 2 garbage cans.
Well, there now it's safe.
I ruined 2
I don't
garbage
wanna
cans.
ruin
I
my
just
garbage
chucked the
can.
stuff in there, and I went to go dump the garbage, and it was like, hey, nothing's coming out of the garbage can because it was all bonded to the side of the garbage can. Chris says, yeah, with the UV resin, I like to let it soak and dab the resin on the project since it levels out better with the SLA resin. Yeah, SLA resin. So SLA resin is, for those that don't know, 3D printers. Now you have an FDM, which, without getting into technical terms, you have like a plastic filament in one of them that runs, like this was done on an FDM, where you're using essentially a roll of what looks like fishing line to print your part. Well, the newest type printers is a resin bath, where it's like a liquid resin, like this stuff, but thicker. And what it does is the part, UV light laser goes along and solidifies the resin, creating your part. If you've never seen it, go like on YouTube and look up resin. It's really neat to watch.
Yeah.
It's really cool to watch.
So we're gonna let it settle here for a little bit. I don't even know what time it is because I just
It's 12:37.
37. Okay. So we're gonna let that sit there, and then we can sit here and answer questions while it's cooking off. Because I don't think there's much I can do for the next 20 or so minutes. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
But you guys, I mean, you saw how fast that was. So like that's the cool thing of, I mean, you can seal your whole set of armor pretty quickly, and then you just do a filler primer, and you might have to do a little bit of sanding. Like I think once I do a second coat, I can float in some of the areas that like got missed, and then we'll be good.
And then once you do it, normally what I'll do,
and next time I'm going to use my big ass brush instead of the sponge brush.
Big ass, sorry.
It's fine.
Big parts like that.
I say big ass. It's fine.
Like maybe you want to block sand it just to knock down some of.
I have.
Or use the filler primer.
I'm going to use the filler primer, but I'm going to sand first. Right? I always have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a block sand.
A block sander. So if you guys are going to talk about like block sander, this is literally like, it's
a block of sandpaper.
It's an actual block of sandpaper. Yeah. And I have a couple of them in different grits. So, and it's super useful. And then for like the smaller areas, I might need a sand to have like the finer detail.
So let me see when you're Mando. The whistling bird, not the whistling bird.
Oh, I'm still peeling off the stuff that.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
So
I forgot to. My dumb butt forgot to. So I was like, well, I had to go in there and dribble it anyways.
I can print you another one if need be.
No, it's fine. Because that one worked fine. So I'm just gonna go in and dribble that out, and then I've got 3 of those. So worst case, if this takes a little bit longer, I can just use the other one in the interim.
Yeah, or I just blow another one out on the printer.
But no, it's not gonna be no. That's the thing. It's like, so I'll show you guys here. Actually, I can come over here.
Yeah.
We can switch cameras while this is drying. Because this is gonna be really boring to stare at. Like, it's gonna be so interesting, guys. It's not that interesting. Okay, so. Probably switch stuff around here. Okay, I'm gonna take this camera. You're gonna all see you now.
Okay. No. I'm gonna go this way.
Okay, then they're not gonna see you. Okay, so for like the whistling bird we have right here, I should probably actually turn the light this way, and then we have proper light. So
these kind of holes, not to hijack your stream, but
that's fine.
These kind of holes, what I'm talking about, or what we're showing is when you go to put the XTC on, you can put it on these like really hole. It's the whistling birds where they come out of. Take like a little brush, a detail brush, and get in there and keep working at it because that'll fill in a heartbeat. I mean, those holes, I'm like, I don't know what else is that. These holes right here will fill. I mean, in a heartbeat. Yeah. And once they fill up, the only way you're gonna get them is drilling out. Yeah.
So whenever I cover this with XTC, I'm going to avoid this part and go all the way around it, and then wait till it's sticky like I did last time, and then I'll use it to.
Yeah. Just don't pull. Yeah. Perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, that'll work. So. But yeah, let's move this a little bit back so that we actually have. Anyways, hi guys. You're probably like, this is a really weird angle. I know.
Yeah, it's like,
I'm sorry.
oh, there's a wall here.
It's the strangest angle because.
Smash into the wall.
Yeah, I made him smash into the wall.
Yeah, she's mean. She pushed me into the wall.
But there you go. Now we're more even.
Now you got me like wanting to peel all this stuff out.
Don't peel it off.
Why?
I like raised my sleeves up so that I wouldn't get stuff on it. Now I'm just like, let's put the sleeves back down. But like I gave him a project and now he really wants to.
No, I'm like looking for my. I'm looking for my pick set because usually I have a pick set that I.
But I figured it'd be cool like when I don't feel like wearing my armor.
Yeah.
So got the helmet. I still need to do the XTC over it because I just did a coat of wood glue. So I need to sand some areas that I got into. But I'm going to XTC because when you use XTC, where for some reason the felt stayed in this just fine. But when I use the XTC, it'll seal all this area where like you can kind of see like, the difference between the two of them, and then it'll help stabilize it even more too.
That wants me to know what he printed that out of.
I don't know.
Or what they printed it out of.
Yours is fine. Like the wood glue that I used is just fine on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I tried to do it on, when I tried to do some like adhesives on that one, like, because the felt like. It's just fine in here. It's staying. I mean, even in the curved part, you wouldn't think felt would stay in the curved part. Yeah. So, and I can wear it just fine. So that's the thing. But, like, you don't, obviously, I wanted to have stuff. I'm going to have, like, a wig on. So I'm going to put some magnets in this. And I thought that'd be cool to use the Bondic to get a magnet in there and then put XTC over it.
That was kind of funny.
And then I can just...
I forgot I had printed that. And it was like, it was one of my printers broke. And I was using it as a test print. And I was like, I wonder if somebody wants the headband for Amanda.
I literally have, I've taken, so I've got Mando's helmet and bracers. I have the armor's pauldrons and chest piece, and then Bo-Katan's head.
There we go.
I've taken every piece of Mando armor, and I'm like, I have the emulgation.
You're making armor.
I mean, yeah.
Came out pretty good. I'm
yeah.
kind of liking that.
The XTC will help smooth out the rest, but the wood glue I did 2 coats, watered down, and it's real smooth. Feels nice.
Nice, I like that.
So, but the wood glue, the reason I liked doing wood glue in this is it's another reinforcer, and that stuff like.
You know, what's really nice to see is a kind of a finished product. Like my house right now, I've got my whole kitchen and floor looks like a.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot about my hair and stuff, but
it's
but
destroyed.
you saw how big it was on me. Oh,
yeah.
Look, I left my makeup in there.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's because I'm sweating so much; it's just coming right off. I'm just gonna wipe this off after the stream. I shouldn't have even put makeup on, guys.
We'll call it sealer.
Look, guys, you can tell it's
foam padding for the sealer.
It's pretty now, but don't wear makeup when it's humid. I'm not used to humidity, so I'm like, I'm just gonna put my makeup on like I normally do, except for just trying to come off. This is like the strangest crafting stream today.
That's why I'm here.
Well, and they're just watching the other cameras just this like
big cook off.
Increasingly glistening armor bit. I just realized like the D-ring lifted on that, but I can just probably like peel it off.
You can pull off. So that stuff is kind of cool. You can like the mixing cups. If you like let the mixing cup set. You can flex it and the stuff will like come off.
Right
it's kind of cool.
That'll be good. And then because it's metal, I don't think it's gonna stay in the metal that well. So I'll just peel it right off the metal and
it'll wear off the metal.
I didn't check that side, so I forgot to reinforce it, which is probably why it's looking.
It should be alright.
It's fine. Good old D-rings giving me problems, guys. So I keep looking here because I'm so used to the camera being up there, and it's right here.
It's right there.
It's right there. Okay. Anyways,
cover this up. Cover the camera.
If you guys have questions, let me know. We've got about 15 minutes left on the stream. I can show you guys some more of like information at XTC or anything else. Yeah, this is one of those things that you just want to keep peeling.
Yeah, it's like it's obnoxious.
It's funny because like it went really well on that one, but it just didn't want to stay on this one.
I wonder if it's the.
It may have been older glue too, though.
So this is a different brand
PLA
than this one. This is eSun. I think that's Sunlit.
Maybe. So that's another thing too. Other ways to talk about different brands of PLA. Like it may still be PLA, but depending on the manufacturer, it could have different like levels of plastic or the product in it. So the variations of ratios can actually affect
The purity of the plastic too.
Yep. And so you'll run into problems like this where I went to seal it and it just is the glue didn't stay. Now either I used old glue, which is entirely possible, or the ratio for this particular plastic is like FU. And I think honestly, if I just take a little bit of sandpaper.
Oh, you get. I mean, that's off. It's just.
Well, I mean,
glue.
Look at this thing. It's not. It's glued together really well here. I used the glue I used the Gorilla Glue gel.
Oh yeah.
The Gorilla Glue.
I love the Gorilla Glue gel.
That stuff's good. I just need to fill in the ridge here. I don't know how I got a ridge on that side, but not this side. Maybe I squeezed. I have really strong hands. When you're putting the 3D prints together, be careful not to squeeze them. So I have like really strong hands, and several times I've like squeezed prints and misaligned them just because I'm like.
Well, you get all happy with it. I do the same thing.
Yeah, you get excited, and so then your hands are just like, let's just destroy this. And actually, I should probably take.
What did Chris? Chris said, "So Rob, are your printers available for use?" Actually, sorry, Chris. I stopped taking commissions and stopped taking side projects because I need to get my own stuff done.
Yes, he does.
I got two fairly large. I've got the Godzilla armor and the T60 that I'm doing. Although I think the T60 may not fit, but I'm still going to end up doing the whole thing.
It's at the sticky stage. I'm assuming that's a normal stage.
Yeah, it's a normal stage. With that kind of area that you put it on, it's going to be a while.
Wow, so
it'll take a while to cook.
Let's see what this says.
Yeah.
The instructions say.
Don't do this.
And I did it.
That's what we all did.
So pot life on a flat tray is only 15 minutes, and I'd say that was about 15, 20 minutes. Cure time for a thin layer is 3.5 hours. Cure time for a thick layer is 4.
I would say 4 hours for that.
Yeah.
It gets to the really, really tacky stage after about 45 minutes.
I'm going to have to close my door so my cat doesn't try to lick them up.
You're going to come in.
Come in, my cat's covered in XTC.
No,
that would be so bad.
Your cat out in the living room with a piece of armor stuck to it.
Oh,
Mom,
no, we don't need any more problems with the cat, okay? He's already done enough crazy things lately, so.
Oh, is it the cat's fault?
Hey, I did not catch my cat on fire. He got himself on fire. If anyone says otherwise.
Sure, Sam, sure.
They weren't there. They don't know. But here we go. I've got some sandpaper so you can fix this. So just generic sandpaper. Someone actually gave me a whole brand new sheet of this, and I was like, sweet, mine. It's like free sandpaper? Of course, I'll take that. Who wouldn't want free sandpaper? Most of the people in the world, but I want free sandpaper.
I've gotten kind of spoiled on sanding tools because doing large size projects, you whip out the sander and
Yep. And then it works really well.
And hope you don't go through your finger.
I want to get one of those little table belt sanders, like one of the ones you hold in your hand, and it just.
Oh yeah, there's different types. Yeah. The smaller ones, the jitterbugs.
Yeah.
I want to get it's like a band. It's about a 2-inch, either a 2-inch band or 1-inch band that you can.
Oh, Chris is upset.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Again, sorry, Chris.
He has so many projects.
I had to stand back and just.
He's like, my rooms are full of 3D printed projects for myself that I haven't even started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's 6. Right now I've got 2.
If you have all the pieces separated, it ends up taking up a lot more space until you actually just get them put together.
Oh yeah, I actually spent 2 days cleaning up and putting piles together. Like, okay, that's a right arm, that's a right thigh, that's a right leg, that's a right this. That's the left arm. It's like, wait a minute, which armor is that for? It's like, oh no, I don't know which armor that's for.
Then you just guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Just play like Jenga and see which pieces fit.
Or you forget to. So I have a running list because normally I'll have a list of parts so I don't duplicate parts. Well, at some point when I was cleaning, that my main list kind of went away. I will say I think it's in the landfill right now.
Oh no.
So I caught myself printing two armor pieces that were let's see, 3 or 4 day prints. And I got halfway through one of them and I was like, man, that looks familiar. Could that be the part that's sitting right at the floor right underneath it? I was like, oh. So I just let it run. And at that point, you just let it run out.
And you just have extras.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up with headbands.
No, that's when you're testing your printer after you fixed it.
That's how you end up with helmets.
That's how you ended up with that.
Yeah.
That one, piece. Yeah. Or wait, was it that piece or the other one?
No, I think it was the other one.
Okay, the other one, yeah.
The one that's like tiny that nobody can wear but me because I have little arms.
Exactly. I printed that one off as a test because one of my, last week was the printer week from hell, but I barreled through it.
That's the thing. If you want to get into 3D printing, just understand that, there's a lot of models available. There's a lot you can use and modify and by yourself now, and you won't even have to worry about. You don't have to know how to 3D sculpt or render or anything like that. But what you have to do is get familiar with maintaining your printers and recognizing when they have an issue before it happens, or understanding what the issue is when it occurs and solving it before it becomes a bigger problem and the 3D printer becomes unusable. Oh yeah.
It's a how can I say? It's a lesson in patience. Because printers, it's just a machine, but when something goes wrong, it goes wrong badly.
It's not like where your cell phone's gonna be like, hey, this is what's wrong with me. It just starts screaming at you. Or
exactly.
It makes noises and then goes and shuts down. You're like,
very few printers. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 on the market actually have self-diagnostic software in them.
Most of them you have to diagnose yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're not prepared to do a lot of work on a 3D printer, then you're going to want to commission someone.
Yeah. And then again, I mean, I do 3D printing panels for cosplay cons and stuff, and
now I can join with more knowledge because look at all the stuff I've been doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Rob keeps giving me 3D printed leftovers. I don't know. I'm just gonna have a collection.
Yeah. When I'm fixing my printers, she gets all this stuff.
I get all the stuff that it may not be perfect because he knows I can make it perfect.
Exactly.
So, I don't mind putting extra work. The fact that I didn't get frustrated when the glue failed and I just spent 2 hours and now the next 20 minutes peeling off glue that had failed because I was going to salvage it. Yeah. That's how I am.
I'd have smashed the part by now.
No, I rescue everything.
The part had been smashed.
I'm about to I have armor that I built about 5 years ago out of foam. And I am going to take all of the attachments off that armor and then recycle the foam because the foam's too old for me to wear anymore. So I'm saving. No. So I'm just
cool.
saving D-rings and stuff because
repurpose. Repurpose. Don't. I mean, if you have a lot of cosplays, repurpose stuff. I actually built an entire set of armor based on trash. Okay, we'll call it repurposed items that were literally trash.
It was junk.
It was. It was like.
There's old scrap pieces of plastic and other things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the fencing piece was out of, I had this mesh fencing stuff on there. That stuff was out of somebody's garden that they had taken their garden out. And I was like, ooh, I was at a.
You're like, yes, give me your chicken wire.
Exactly. I was driving by and I was like, they had a big pile of it out in their garbage. And I was like, oh, score.
Yep. Don't be afraid to use found objects.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bottle caps, the screw-on caps.
Well, bottle caps and protein containers.
Oh yeah.
Protein containers are.
I'm gonna borrow your water bottle.
Oh, that's fine.
See this little cap? That is gold. You'll find that out because you can use. I mean, knobs, detailed parts, drill a hole in it, and put a little. You can stick magnets in it and use it as a form of attaching things. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. Reduce, recycle, use. Cosplayers are pretty good at that.
Exactly.
All right, I think I got most of this off now with some XTC. It'll smooth it out, and I might only have to make some minor mind
Yeah, you just want to
changes.
be real careful with all like the little grooves.
Yeah, I'm
and,
gonna
like,
wait
right
until
in
it's
there.
like sticky, like we had it like.
Well, you
right
can
then,
do it when
hot
it's
life.
thinner. It's just you don't want to. You want to dab it in the stuff, and then kind of get the excess off, and then run it in there,
Yeah.
and just keep. Yeah, but you're gonna have to keep working at it.
And I need to take a Dremel to this. So like, there's going to be like in here. This is supposed to be completely empty, but there's going to be support structures when you do 3D printing. So I forgot to take these out before covering it in glue. I have to do that now. That's fine. So I'm just gonna take like when you have like a Dremel or some kind of rotary tool, they usually have a flat disc that you can attach, and that's what you would do is you take the flat disc in here and just carve out these little sections. I mean, I guess you could also like chisel it. Like you could take a hammer and chisel.
I have a pick set, like a little pick set I got from Harbor Freight. Just like you can get in there and get in all of it. Yeah. I mean, it's tedious work. But
if you hadn't covered it in glue, it'd be a lot easier to do that. But I covered it in glue, so now I have to use the disc set. But this is what I mean. Like, I have like really tiny hands, and so yeah.
Well, show me the other one. The other one was kind of funny.
Well, we'll have this one here.
The other one, it was a one piece, right? Yeah. So I printed this as one of my printers had a major failure, and I had to rebuild it.
Difference here.
Yeah.
One of these is tiny.
And I printed this, and I was like, I can't get my hand through it. Sizing when you're printing things, yes. And then I was like, hey, Sam, you want to try this on? And
it's still loose. Do you see this? Like, I really have very small wrists and hands.
So I was like, yeah, Sam, you want to try this? Yeah. She's like, sure. And I was like, all right.
He printed this one smaller, too, and I'm still going to have to wear gloves to make it, like...
Don't fit.
Just like the helmet, you printed that smaller, too, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's...
it's like a 3/4 size?
Yeah, 3/4 size.
Yeah. So apparently, if any of you ever have a problem where you accidentally print something too small, my name's Sam from Thermo Cosplay, and I'll pay for shipping.
Yeah. Somebody will actually pick up your 3D prints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even the ones you goof up on, because a lot of people like to test this stuff. Like me, I was like, you know what? If I goof up on all this stuff, like I can always just recommission. Oh, that's just the glue pile there. But I can just commission, if it's really if it's just bad and I can't salvage it, I can commission it again. But so far, I've only put together little tiny 3D prints. Like these are the biggest 3D prints I've ever put together and had to assemble. So
see, I'm the opposite.
If I can do it, and I'm
stuff.
a dork when it comes to like.
Well, no, I put weapons together.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot I put all those weapons together.
See, look. Like a piece of the brush and up in there.
Yeah. See, that's like so. Yeah. Oh wow. So a trick with brushes is, let's say you have a bristle brush.
Read it. Come.
Nice. Really?
What?
I had to learn how to take a jackhammer to it. Yeah, the best luck. So a trick is to take like.
It was real sticky.
Is to take like with cheaper brushes, if you are worried about the bristles coming out, get some thin super glue and like run a bead just like across the bottom where the bristle is right here, and take you can wipe it off and let it set, and it will actually soak into the bristles and it'll hold the bristles in most of the time. Just a little trick. A friend of mine actually taught me that. Because
one side's sticky, one side's kind of hard. This is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
People like curing at different rates because of like what side it based on, depending on.
Oh yeah.
And look all the excess that's on this.
So you don't have that. Here, let me see the pan. Do you have the pan stuff? The box. Is it?
Well, it's hot.
Yeah. Oh, be careful. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's.
Yeah, it's still a little bit.
It's hardening under here. I can feel it.
Yeah. So it's a little bit pliable still.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to take 3.5 hours to cure. So like, I'm not gonna be like, it's not cured yet. Well, it's not a 20-minute cure. It's a 3.5 hour.
Oh yeah,
cure.
yeah.
And so it's gonna be. That means when it's a 3.5 hour cure, it's gonna not like. There's no way I can use this stuff. It's like Like,
no, that stuff.
it's still flexible, but it's like no, there's no spreading it anymore. So this is the thing though, is like you've got, like I said, about 15-20 minutes for the pot life. And then for the next 2 hours, it's just going to be some goopy, sticky, weird, like when hot glue comes out of the hot glue gun, that's what it's going to feel like. It's going to be super tacky. You don't want to touch it, like, because I can already see some uneven areas, but I'm not worried. I intended to do 2 coats with this no matter what. Because, I mean, my first attempt isn't going to be perfect. So obviously I'm going to have to do a second coat to even out everything.
I usually do. Well, depending on how the size and depending on how it floats, I may do up to 3 coats.
Well, it didn't do too. I mean, you can see it's not too bad for a first try. So.
Well, your first coat. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, with the ridges on that, that's a really good coat for your first coat.
Yeah, and I might not even have to do another coat with STC on the outside. I might just have to lightly sand it and do a filler primer and be fine.
Well, your second and third coat get progressively lighter. Don't goop it on. Just
get super thin. You use one of my brushes and go.
So what you're doing is you're filling it. You're filling.
Just floating the film.
Yeah, you're floating. Yeah. Or the other option is get some filler primer and hit it with filler primer, and then hit it with a.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll fill the inside of it again with the second coat and see what that does. And then once it's cured, if I figured it out, then I'll do like a floater on the top.
Yeah.
Because and that's the thing. Anytime someone says 3D printing is easy, I mean, I'll probably spend 40 hours on just doing the XTC alone. Yeah.
So one of the things that one of our panels, one of the things we talk about is 3D printers are not the end all. You're not going to, very rarely are you going to pull something off your printer, slap it on, wear it to a con. You still have,
like, unless you don't mind it looking rough.
Yeah, rough. So you're still going to have finishing time.
Yeah.
And we call it a force multiplier, which was actually a phrase that the person that got me involved in 3D printing coined that phrase, was a force multiplier, where, like in Sam's case, which I get annoyed with her because she has so many projects, she's going to wear herself out. She can, like, if she had printers, or like me, I can print something for her and she can work on something else and not have to worry. Because, I mean, for her to build that armor piece, she's looking at, I mean, if you do it out of foam or Sentra, or, you're tacking on how many more hours?
Well, I think it's going to be the same amount of time. I think this is going to take me about 25 hours of assembly and sealing, and that doesn't even include, that's just putting it all together and sealing it, priming it. Then I'll get to paint it, and then paint is going to take another 2 or 3. But I think it would be the same equivalent. It's just that it's going to last longer.
Yeah, well, the way we see it is, and I've actually talked to other cosplayers too about this, where if they have in-house, these are people with in-house printers, they can have like that piece going on a printer and they can be working on another project.
Yeah.
So when they can fit,
stacking. So stacking projects. If you're stacking hours, then it's going to save me like time linearly.
Yeah. For actually building that piece.
Yeah.
So if you had to build that piece and then on top of it,
and then do all this, you're
looking, another.
I wouldn't have it done until next year.
Yeah, so it's like the Mando gauntlets. The chest pieces, and don't get me wrong, they're still a little annoying to do, but they don't take as much. There's not as much detail in the chest piece as far as like something with the Mando. It's a very basic. You could actually take one piece of Sentra and do it. Yeah. It's a very basic piece versus, say, doing like a gauntlet piece, which is
or helmets,
or helmets,
or like you could do a helmet with Sentra, but getting a concave or convex curve is really hard.
Doing this kind of curve is next to impossible.
It just takes a lot of work, and it's just really, really difficult.
So 3D printers. I mean, I like I said, I could go on a whole rant about 3D printers. They're awesome. They're great. I have 5 of them. I mean, and they're continually being used. It's just, do you have the projects to warrant getting a printer? I mean, yes, I would say for you to buy a printer would probably be an investment for you because you're what I consider professional cosplayers. So,
it's a hobby for me.
Yeah, but you could put a 3D printer, and you have projects you could do a 3D printer.
Yeah.
what I try to, and we do in
Well,
our.
technically, I could toss it there, and my cat would just have to sleep on his bed. On the
No, you're not buying a
he
printer.
no longer gets his kitty bed. No, I prefer paying people for it just because I already have so much on my plate. If I buy a 3D printer, that I'm just going to create too many of my own projects. Whereas if I have to go to a local person who 3D prints, or I have to buy from someone, I'm limiting.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait, well, I already have this, so I have to wait a couple months.
So I mean, again, they're good, but do you really need a 3D printer is what I'm getting at. You have to ask yourself. It's an investment. It's an investment in time, space, and longevity.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm going on that rant is I was contacted by somebody last night who just bought a 3D printer. And they're like, yeah, I used it for one project. You want to buy my printer?
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I told you, we had this conversation. Well, I did one project. Now it's sitting in the corner on my wash machine. It's like, okay, you got a couple $100 investment. Blah, blah,
this
blah,
is the whole point why I told you not to do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, guys, we are all set for the day. Thank you for joining us. No, it's okay. Like, this is the thing when you're sharing a room, you're just like stealing each other's chairs. But the camera's over here. I keep forgetting that.
Oh,
so I will be on Cos Talk Live tomorrow, and we're talking about cosplay mashups. And I'll see you guys there. And there we go. Have a good day. Thanks, everyone.